All right, Wilson, let's get the day started, shall we? 6:30 in Billings, 48 degrees out there as we look at First News. It's fair, it's accurate, you get the damn truth. Florida's Gulf Coast bracing for the impact of Hurricane Milton's winds and massive storm surge. Could bring more destruction to cities and towns already suffering from Helene's devastation 12 days ago. The whole west coast of Florida basically is under a hurricane warning today. The winds were some of the strongest we've seen. They reached 190 miles an hour yesterday, Category 5. This morning so far it's been downgraded now. It's Category 4. Forecasters said it still poses an extremely serious threat. Places like Tampa Bay region. Tampa Bay has not endured a direct hit from a major hurricane since 1921. And there's already been emergency declarations put in place for the whole west coast of Florida. The head of FEMA, who came under fire because of the response to Hurricane Helene, said these are false claims and conspiracy theories. Deanne Criswell appeared in Asheville, North Carolina, to assure residents the government was ready to help. She said misinformation has spread over the past week, but folks, there have been hundreds of news reports showing the lack of response, the lack of equipment, no orders for National Guard troops, our military. We've seen the list of hundreds of millions of dollars that have gone out to illegal immigrants, so it's going to be tough for her to fight that stereotype now that has already been put in place. The Israeli military said they've killed a senior Hezbollah commander on a strike in Beirut, with the group's acting leader now promising more fighting against Israel. The military said the strike killed Suhali Husseini, who was responsible for overseeing the logistics, the budget, and the management of the Hezbollah terrorist group. The acting leader now of Hezbollah said his group's military capabilities are still intact, and he said that Hezbollah has replaced all of their senior commanders after a week of heavy attacks from Israel that killed 7 out of the top 10. Joe Biden is going to make a rare appearance today, but it won't be from the White House. Nobody knows who is there anymore and who's even running it. He's going to campaign today in Pennsylvania and then visit Wisconsin. He'll make a quick swing through those key states as they are in a competitive battle right now with former President Trump. Biden will be fully embraced by Senator Bob Casey, who will be in Philly with him. In Milwaukee, where Biden will be spotlighting his efforts to replace toxic lead pipes. He'll be there with Senator Tammy Baldwin, and no one knows who's running Washington now. Everybody's gone. Nobody has been in the White House for weeks. Donald Trump, in the meantime, he's hitting the campaign trail. He's pledging to end taxes on all of your tips, Social Security, and overtime if he's elected. But he hasn't detailed how he's going to fund those ideas, according to AP. Estimates from their outside economic analysts said it could cost $6 trillion over 10 years. Folks, now this is where they indoctrinate you. It doesn't cost the government anything. It doesn't cost them. What they're doing is they're taking your money. All right? That's how they spend money. It doesn't cost your business or my farm anything if I don't spend it. It doesn't cost anything. He's just going to allow you to keep more of your money if he's elected. That Kamala Harris even jumped on board of the no taxing tips thing, but everybody thinks that's just a election ploy. The lead engineer for that experimental submersible that imploded en route to see the Titanic testified he was pressured to get the vessel ready to dive, and he refused to pilot it. He said, "I'm not getting in it." Tony Nissen told the founder of the company that owned the submersible. OceanGate's former engineering director was the first witness to testify in what's expected to be that hearing by the Coast Guard. Imploded June 18th, killed the owner and 4 others. Nissen said Rush could be difficult to work for, was very concerned about the cost of the project and other issues. He said he always fought for what he wanted, and he would change things day to day. Most people, he said, would just back down, but he said he didn't. He worked on a prototype hull that predated the expedition to the Titanic. He said the prototype was actually struck by lightning during a test mission. He said that could have compromised the hull, but he said he wouldn't get in it. Owner didn't care. 2 pioneers in artificial intelligence have won the Nobel Prize in Physics. John Hopfield and Jeffrey Hinton awarded the prize Tuesday for their discoveries and inventions that formed the building blocks of machine learning. Hinton said he was flabbergasted at being honored. He said his AI is revolutionizing the way we work and live now, but he also said it is creating new threats to humanity. The Physics Prize carries a cash reward of 11 million Swedish kroner, or $1 million in our money. But anyway, they were the winners of the awards in physics. Oh, and on the medical front, a unique peek inside the human brain may help explain how it clears away waste, like the kind that can build up and lead to Alzheimer's disease. Brain cells use a lot of nutrients, which means they make a lot of waste. Scientists have long thought the brain had special plumbing in it in order to flush out that trash, especially while you sleep. They could see it happening in mice, but there was only circumstantial evidence in people. Now, researchers have finally spotted the network of these tiny waste-clearing channels in the brains of living people with a special kind of imaging that they can use now. The study was published in Journal Proceedings, National Academy of Science. The brain is remarkably active during your sleep. One reason seems to be that that's the time it does its deep clean. It's gotten the attention a lot because those losing a good night's sleep, it muddles your thinking, your chronic sleep deprivation, and risk factor for dementia. So they have finally figured out how the brain gets rid of its waste up there. Stock market slid yesterday. Treasury yields at their highest level of the summer, and oil prices continue to climb. The S&P dropped 1% yesterday. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 398 points, coming off its own record. NASDAQ also sank yesterday 1.2%. Price of a barrel of crude oil now up to $77.14. So crude continues to go up. Pepsi lowered their revenue forecast for the year as consumers continue to pull back on their snacks and drinks. Could bring their revenue profits down for the year. Pepsi said their revenue was flat in the third quarter, $23 billion. Also today, we're going to hear some quarterly reports coming out from JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, and others today. Winemaker Duckhorn Portfolio doubled their earnings as people are drinking their problems away, it seems like, in the last quarter. Hong Kong's down today. In fact, Hong Kong has fallen more than 9%. The Hang Seng Index lost 9.4% yesterday. Shanghai is also down so far today. Futures are pretty much steady so far in our stock market. And this coming after Friday's blowout jobs report that we talked about yesterday morning, gave you all the numbers, and it was not a blowout. Fires continue to burn all around us. Say some prayers for those poor people that have lost everything. Elkhorn Fire down in Wyoming, that one's burned well over 75,000 acres, and there's basically literal containment, hopefully today. One person died, 100 others evacuated for homes as wildfires were ripping through parts of western North Dakota over the weekend with those dry and windy conditions. 4 of the fires that they had over there, though, are nearly contained. A lot easier fighting fires on a flat surface in North Dakota than it is in the mountains. However, Williams County Sheriff's Office said 26-year-old Johannes Nicholas Van Eden died due to injuries of a fire that was near Ray, North Dakota. Another person was critically injured, but with those 57 to 75 mile-an-hour winds, according to the Weather Service over the weekend. And North Dakota has some pretty good drought going on in western parts of North Dakota. It made it tough to fight it. The Elkhorn Fire near Grassy Butte, 20% contained as of yesterday, but fire conditions still pretty high out here in this part of the country. And it looks like I'm done trying to become a mega millionaire. Cost of a Mega Millions lottery ticket will soon more than double. Officials are confident that their players won't mind paying more because they said the changes will lead to larger prizes. Lottery officials announced yesterday, folks, if you're going to play the Mega Millions now, it'll cost $5. It'll go up in April. It's currently $2. That was cheaper than Powerball. That's why I played it. It was only $2 Along with the high price, officials plan changes, though, leading to improved jackpot odds and more frequent giant prizes. Mega Millions is the lottery compatriot Powerball. They're all sold in 45 states, and they hope that increasing the odds will get you involved, because the odds now of winning a jackpot are 1 in 302 million, which is just unheard of anyway. They said the changes will make it easier to win. 500 million jackpots, they said, prompt people to form lines outside of convenience stores. That's another thing I'm not standing in line for, is to buy a Mega Millions ticket. I will not stand in line for that. But they said the jackpots could go higher. They declined to say that interest rates were a factor in the changes of why they had to increase the cost of a Mega Millions ticket. Research shows people feel comfortable spending $5 when they buy scratch tickets or chances at the draw games. So they think that they would pay $5 for this. They said you'll pay $5 for a Starbucks. Yeah, but at least you get something.
Paul, I think they'll pay $5 and not think twice.
That's right, and they'll line up.
Yeah,
they'll still line up, but I'm not spending $5 per ticket.
I'm just learning brand new things about you.
You go and you buy 5 tickets. It's $25. I used to buy 5. Mark, I used to go in. Remember the thing yesterday I said about frugality?
Yes.
I went in yesterday, or the other week. I went in and I bought. You hand them $10, you get 5 chances.
Right.
Okay, that was fine. I'll be damned if I'm going to give them $25 for 5 of those. Not going to do it.
If you gave them 10, you could still get 2.
I'm not doing it. Cat Country News Time is 6:44, and you could take that to the bank.
Oh, it's already there, buddy.
Weather and sports next.
Today in sports, we're going to play Think Like a Dad. Paul, let's say your daughter is home and she's single, and Ravens quarterback Deshaun Watson shows up at your door.
Yeah.
And says, great news. That last gal that accused me of something, that got settled, so that makes over 24 cases now where they found me not guilty. I had to sit out 11 games for something I claimed I didn't do. I had to pay a $5 million fine. I had to go take behavioral classes. But now I'm here to take your daughter out.
Excuse me. You have the wrong address. All right? You have the wrong address.
Would this guy still be getting treated the same way if his team was 0-5?
Gosh.
But they think the Ravens got a shot, so...
Wasn't he with Cleveland now? Deshaun Watson?
Yes.
Yeah. $250 million he's getting. Wow. 82 today, going to be a warm one. Same thing tomorrow, 83. That's well above average. And then we cool off a little bit, finally, as we get to the weekend. But no rain in sight, and we could use it. It's 48 out there right now, 646, and that's what's happening. $25 for 5 Mega Millions tickets. No way, Ray. Ain't going to happen.
I know.
Thanks for tuning into the Cat.